joining me again for another Pixie Talks review vlog.
Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks.
Woo! I hope you all had a very happy Valentine's. I sure did. My hubby and I went out to the movies to see this year's hottest new date night flick. An action-packed adventure love story just perfect for young couples. Deadpool.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon'
Say, it has been a weird few years for Valentine's Day movies. Last year's biggest Valentine's Day date night flick was the infamously horrible 50 Shades of Grey, and this year it's Deadpool? I actually kind of really love that they marketed this as a Valentine's Day movie because it's just so ridiculous and ludicrously over the top, and it's so not what you traditionally think of as a Valentine's Day film that I just loved it. Now, I do have to say right off the bat that this movie is not for kids. This is an R-rated film filled with violence, obscene language, and it's really not going to be for everyone. It's an action comedy that often gets quite raunchy, so if that's not your thing, I'd give it a pass. The story revolves around Wade Wilson, who is experimented on by the same organization of miscreants who feature in Wolverine's backstory. Wade gets an impressive super healing ability, making him pretty much indestructible, but as a side effect, utterly destroys his skin. He dons the suit to seek out revenge and to rescue the love of his life. Alright, look. The biggest con to the whole thing is that it's really quite generic. He's out for revenge, the bad guys kidnap his girl, he has to go rescue her, yada yada yada. It's a story we've all seen before. So plot-wise, this is nothing special at all. But what makes it pop is its pretty unique approach to dialogue, cinematography, and tone. If this story had been played perfectly serious, I would have said that it's generic garbage. But it isn't, and it works super well. It's almost a parody of the action genre. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's just a wild ride. Deadpool, if you are familiar with the character from the comics, is known for being a smartass and for breaking the fourth wall, which is all kinds of wonderful on screen. I am such a fan of fourth wall jokes, actually, so I was really quite interested to see if they would do him well, and they really, really did. Now I want to talk about the visual style of the movie because it is slick. It's got amazingly fun action sequences, well choreographed and well shot. Its use of slow motion as well as fourth wall breaking effects is super fun. But the best visual decision they made was his eyes. In comic books, the eyes of a character's suit will change shape or grow or shrink to depict their facial expressions. In reality, a mask would not do that, but they made Deadpool's eyes actually do that, and it adds such an amazing layer of visual depth to the character. It's such a small thing, but it adds so much. Bravo to whoever came up with that. Now, unfortunately, it does very much fail in the area of female characterization. There are two badass ladies in the movie, one on the villain side and one on the good guy side. Megasonic Teenage Warhead was awesome, but completely underutilized. And the villainous Angel was nothing more than a lackey with little to no bearing on the actual story. Meanwhile, we have the typical narrative of the female love interest who only exists to further the man's story. So yeah, male power fantasy film with no hope of passing the Bechdel test, but, I mean, that's nothing new. Now, I've seen people comparing this film to Kick-Ass a lot, which I think is really weird. The only similarity these films have is that they are both R-rated action comedies. Their stories and characters are completely different, so it's a little weird to wave around Kick-Ass like, hey, Kick-Ass did it first, or whatever, because yeah, you know that you're allowed to have more than one film in a genre, right, people? Oh, and I loved Colossus. From the moment we see him sitting around eating his breakfast cereal, I was in love with him. He was brilliant. I have so many headcanons about him now, it's ridiculous. I feel like he's the mother figure of the X-Men. Like he tends to flutter around them like a mother hen, clucking and asking if they're eating right. Eat your veggies! He makes chicken noodle soup when someone's sick. He's the one that will sit you down and have a stern discussion with you about life choices. But he'll also take you out and buy you ice cream. And he always remembers everyone's birthdays. It's hard to have fun with this movie, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone. If you don't like raunchy comedies, are easily grossed out by blood and violence, or are easily offended by foul language, this is not going to be the movie for you. But for what it is, it's a very well polished, very well done flick with a lot of really cool action and hilarious humor. Break that fourth wall!
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon'
And that's it for my review of Deadpool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can subscribe for more, add me on Facebook and Twitter for further updates of my other projects. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Hope you had a happy Valentine's. Bye!